Hello friends, I don't know if you've seen or heard about photographers tearing their background for a particular kind of unique kind of shot or creative kind of shot. In this video I'm going to be showing you how we can get to play around with it inside of Photoshop. I'm going to get exactly the same. This is Twisted Creative. Alarbi Man is my name. So first time on this channel, please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Not just hitting that subscribe button, also ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the next video. Without wasting much time, let's get into it. This is the model we are going to be using. As you can see, the model is a kind of shot on a plain white background. So we are going to be placing this stuff like this is the tone background we are talking about. So this is the tone background. Then let's drag it and drop it on the image. So we're going to expand this to, let's use it to fit the canvas. Let's expand it to fit the canvas, the tearing. We are going to be focusing on the tearing. So we'll have to place it somewhere around here, like so. I can take it up a bit. Let's take it up. It's going to make more sense if it is upward, like so. I think it's okay this way. So let's hit OK for the background. Now this is the image. This is the image. I've already removed this because of time. I've already removed this image from background. So if I click on this, you notice that we'll have it inside, then we'll have it outside. So this is the selected background outside. Then we'll have to enable it or disable it if we want. So we are going to take this stuff inside this box. So this cut out image is still going to be inside this stuff, like so. So we have to place this image in a way that's going to make more sense. So how do we do that? Let's select the up image and the down image, then we'll have to expand it. So before you do that, make sure you unlock the original layer. So we'll have to push it up. Let's kind of zoom in. It's because of the kind of shot. This is a full shot, but most times it's supposed to be done with a kind of 3/4 shot kind of. So let's just try and make this work. So we have to zoom in, push in like so, have to push in like so, and we got to let the image come like as if is on top the background. Okay, so let's do it this way. I think it should be fine like this. Let's zoom in and see it better. So we are going to be making this image match with this stuff. We are not just going to leave it this way. We got to bring this image out of this tone background, a kind of let the image come out, push out of the background so as to make it look realistic. Okay, so let's select this background and reduce the opacity so as to be seeing all what is happening inside. Okay, let's go for the bag. I want this bag to be thrown outside. Okay, let's go out there. So we are going to capture this bag like so. Let's trace it. Let's use our lasso tool. Then we're going to start from here, then we're going to cut the bag out. So we are going to be cutting this from here. Let's cut it from here, then see what we can do with that. Then we can take it from this up, can take it from the selected background already. So let's right click and feather with 2 and hit OK. Now we are going to do Ctrl C, which is copy, and we're going to use Ctrl V to paste. Now if you take a look at this part, you notice I will have a small stuff here which is representing the pause. Let's rename this to as bag. Then let's say this is tone background. Let's say tone. Then let's take this bag up. Okay, this is just to make the image communicate with the background. Okay, interact with the background. Okay, this is to make it look more realistic. There are so many things you can use within the image to make it look more realistic. They can make use of shadows and all that. Okay, let's go for the head side. We are going to bring this head to the front. So how can we do that? So with this image selected also, then we take our lasso tool, we can select within the head area like so. After selecting, you have to right click and feather with 2 or 4 in order for this head not to move from the original position. So we have to right click and layer via copy. We have to select layer via copy. So with this, we'll be able to have it on the same position. So what we are going to do, take our move tool and take this stuff up. You can take it above the bag, no problem. So now you can see that the image is already coming on top. The image is already coming on top. What if we decide to increase the size of this image? Then we can select the head, select the, okay, let's rename this to as head. Then we have this as head. Click on the head to select the head, hold your control, click on the bag, and also click on the rest image, which is the selected one and the non-selected one. I know the reason why we are carrying this guy along. The last one here is the original image. We have to use it to see the before and after. So we have to, with all this selected, apart from the tone background, have to increase the size of the image. So as you are increasing the size, those cut out area is also following, as you can see. So we have to make it look as if this lady came out of the tone background. So we have to take it up a little bit, take it up a little bit. Now we can hit OK. Now can hit OK. Then let's zoom in and take a look at this again. We'll have to make these arms of hers come in front. With this tone background or opacity also like this, we can select the image, then use our lasso tool, then we can go in here, then make the selection of the arm like so. Then we selected the arms, so we have to right click and feather with 2. Let's use 2 because it's touching the edge. We are going to use 2. Then we have to hit OK. Then we have to right click and copy, layer via copy, layer via copy. That is what you are going to be using, so that it's not going to move from that position. So let's go to our move tool. Then we have to take this layer which we just selected. We have to take it to the top of this tone background also. So we are going to call this arm. So hit OK. Then you can see that this image is looking like as if it's in front while it's still on the back of the background. So I don't think, okay, let's take a look at this pretty little spot that is kind of touching the image. Let's push it out. Okay, let's push it out instead of trying to bring this spot up again. We can still do that by, okay, let's do that. Let's select the image, then pick our lasso tool, then make our rough selection. Once you get to this button area, you make it detailed selection. Okay, then you select this area like so, then you right click and feather with 2, then you right click again and layer via copy. Then you have to go to your move tool and take it up above the background. Then this stuff, you can name it to anything, let's say buff thing. So I think we should be okay with that. Then we are going to, this stuff now is now on top the background. So everything now you are seeing is on top the background. Now we're going to select the background, the tone background. We are going to select it and replace the opacity, take it back to 100. What are you seeing? Isn't that amazing already? It's a kind of looking like, if you are a good artist, you will know that this stuff is missing something. Something is missing out here. What is missing out here? Missing out the shadows. The shadows. We need to place shadows to make this stuff look realistic, you know. So how can we get those shadows interacting with this thing? So you can see that this tone area of this paper, background is having shadow dropping somewhere around here. So we have to create a shadow that is going to be looking like this color that is the color of the background. Okay, because it's yellow, it's not going to have thick black stuff. With this tone background selected, we'll go and click on this plus button to create an empty layer. Then we'll go to our foreground here, click on it, and we can navigate into this spot and choose that background, which we are going to be using as our shadow. Now we are going to take the darker part of this, which is dark brown, like so, then hit OK. So we'll take our brush tool, then we'll make sure we are using soft round brush. That means our hardness has to be at 0. Then we paint in shadows. How can we go about painting this shadow? This shadow is going to be dropping by the left side of the screen, which is going to be the right side of the model. So let's reduce our brush and let's make our opacity and flow like 33 and 30, let's say 33. So I have to paint like so. Let it fall towards this direction. Okay, like what I'm seeing now is like the shadow is kind of too dark. Let's remove it. And okay, let's go back to the foreground and take something like so, then hit OK. Then we're going to paint in this something related to that color that we are seeing there. So this is going to be acting like that shadow we are looking for. So it's going to drop like this area also. Let it not drop on the image. So it's going to drop on this background like so. So as we have this now, let's take it as the lighter part of the shadow. Then we have to do a darker side of the shadow, which we can create another layer here. And with the same color here for the shadow, let's take it inside a bit, and we have to paint harder to make sure it's thickened, you know, it's very thick and strong there. Okay, we have the shadow of the bag painted in. Then what else can we do? Let's see, like this area that is kind of close to the lady, we have to bring this shadow a kind of like this to show that she is there, to show that somebody is there. It's a kind of somebody is there. Okay, so now this area we need to do something also on this part of the image. So all these things lies on this, let's say, shadow. I can call the one for the bag is one, let's say bag shadow. Then this other one should be renamed as shadow, just shadow. It's okay. So with the image still there, you can paint in the shadow of the hair. It's going to be dropping somewhere around here, just like so, because she's very close to the background, and it's going to make that area a kind of dark. She's going to shade that area a kind of. So this is it. Okay, let's not paint into the background. Okay, so we are going to do it this way. We're going to stop the painting here, and we're going to do it on this other side also, but not going to be intense to that of where the shadow is falling to. So we have this stuff like this. Okay, then if there is any other thing we can do is, like if this is shadow, I have to do something that is going to be showing the arm. Let's take this back shadow and place something like this, as if her arms is producing shadow here. I think this is good enough for a start like this. It's something very easy and something you can just play around with. Isn't that amazing? Just take a look at this image. You notice that it's just like the image was shot on that tone background. There's no doubt. Tell me in the comment section what is going to make me, or what's going to make any other person doubt that something is okay, something is missing here. If there's anything at all, you can drop it in the comment section. Okay, so take a look at this image. Let's see the before and after. Let's hold the Alt and click on this last eye icon here to see the before. So this is the before and this is the after. So this is the before and this is the after. This is before and this is after. Isn't that amazing? I believe that is it for today. If you find it interesting, helpful and useful, let us know in the comment section telling us the area it has helped, the area it has not, and the area we need to improve on. Like I said earlier, if you are new on this channel, please do me a favor. Do me a favor by hitting on that subscribe button. Not just hitting on that subscribe button, also ring that notification bell so that I don't miss the next video. And don't forget to like and also share. See you in the next one. Bye for now.